Hello everyone, my name is Anna Avsyanikova. I'm a freelance violinist, and today's video is dedicated to all the different rosins that I have in my collection. I'm going to start with the cheapest ones and going to the more expensive ones. So without further ado, the first rosin that I want to talk about is Hidersine. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. I always used to say Hidersine, but maybe it's Hidersine. And it comes in this metal packaging, which is really fiddly to open. Success. Then the rosin itself is in the cloth, and it's quite a light color. I think it came off the cloth. It's not the greatest rosin out there, but for a student rosins, probably slightly better than, for example, if you ordered a Stento violin and it came with the rosin already in the pack with the case. This is slightly superior. Hidersine, I would prefer it to the Stento, but can't say any more better things about it. And the packaging, once you close it, good luck opening it. It's pretty much impossible. Another student rosin, on the other hand, is by Dario, natural rosin in dark here, and it's slidey case, and then we actually have something very comfortable to hold it with, which is this plastic outer case. I do have dark. We might discover as this video goes along that I actually do love my dark rosins. One point I want to tell you here is, in order to avoid these scuffs on the rosin, on any rosin, but here especially as we have these edges that are completely free of plastic, the trick is to hold your bow the way that your thumb covers the metal bit when you put in the rosin on. That way, when you get to the edge, the rosin actually hits your thumb rather than the metal, because the metal will scoff your rosin. And it doesn't matter on something as cheap as this one, which I think is about £5, but it does matter on the more expensive ones. The next rosin, Kaplan ART, which I believe is also Dario, is sort of a transitional rosin between a student one and a slightly more professional one. I like the packaging, this outer pouch. It's quite soft and quite a soft cloth. Look at this beautiful dark cake. Perfect. This rosin is actually a hidden gem. Its price does not correspond to its qualities. Its qualities are fantastic. It grips to the string brilliantly. A little bit dusty, if anything, but I know at least 2 of my colleagues who use this every day professionally, and they absolutely love it. Next one is sort of similar packaging, slightly velvety pouch, is by Bernadel. This is a French rosin. Again, there are people who absolutely swear by it. I love the cloth that the rosin is attached to, almost like a suede. It's just very nice to hold it. And it's a beautiful amber color. It's a very clean rosin. What I mean by that, it gets a really clean tone, not sticky at all. A lot of people use this one every day, and its price not expensive at all. Slightly more expensive than Kaplan ART. So a lot of people adore this rosin and use it every day. Next, on something slightly more unusual. This one's called Jade L'Opera. Yes, I bought it because of the name, L'Opera. I also wanted to try it because I've heard that it's a hypoallergenic rosin. So some people have an allergy to something in the rosin, especially those rosins that create a lot of dust. This one, it actually does not create much dust. When you put it on your bow and then you play, not much comes off the bow. And it's this unusual olive green color. Really interesting rosin. Again, quite cheap. Now we're moving on to the two Pirastro rosins that I have. And the first one is Goldflex. I used to have it for years. And then I bought a new one because the old one's cloth did not look white anymore and the rosin was nearly done. It's a beautiful light colored cake. It's absolutely one of the most popular rosins out there. I was asking a lot of my colleagues, I was going to say 85% of people said Pirastro Goldflex. It's their rosin, which I entirely understand. Not sticky at all. Great rosin. I used it a lot when I was using Pirastro strings as well. So a lot of these brands market their products saying use Pirastro Eva strings, Eva Pirazzi strings, and use Pirastro Eva rosin, which make total sense, and I do understand that. Another Pirastro that I do have is Shwartz, and I think you're gonna guess what I'm gonna say. I adore this rosin. It's dark, it gives me just enough grip without being sticky. This probably some of the most perfect rosins invented. I absolutely love it. This one actually, it's so old. I don't want it ever to be discontinued. Can't say enough good things about this rosin. Speaking of rosins that market themselves, buy our strings and use our rosin, another one is Larsen, and I actually use Larsen strings a lot. Let me show you this rosin. It is quite a light cake and quite a small one at that. The packaging I find diabolical. So the rosin came off the cloth, then there was a little kind of pin thingy that was meant to hold the cloth together, came off. So I'm now holding it by a hair tie, and even though I use Larsen strings, I do not use this rosin. I do not like how small it is. I do not like the packaging. Not for me. Now, something that is for me, it's this stunning, gorgeous, incredible rosin by Thorvaldsson. It's called Paris, or Paris by Thorvaldsson is the most beautiful rosin out there. For me, the design is just stunning. This wooden box, how beautiful it is, and the front, you've got the Eiffel Tower, it says Paris, made in France, and then you open it and you have this absolutely stunning amber cake. I actually have got a used one, but I wanted to show you just how absolutely stunning it looks when it's new. Love this rosin. Love, love, love this rosin. Now, something a little bit more expensive is Larica by Liebenzeller. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, whether Larica or Larica or Larica. But here we go. A lot of people have been saying, when I did my research and I did ask all my colleagues, what rosin do you use? They said Liebenzeller. And then I couldn't find any Liebenzellers rosin. I did find the Larica, so it's their formula. In the description it says it's a metal rosin. So these rosins are based on the original formula used for Liebenzeller's metal rosins. The differentiated combinations of metals with degree of hardness offer a rich assortment of Larica metal rosins. So the Larica metal rosins are meant to give your instrument a large and radiant sound. I have to say I agree with that description. It's really, really good. It gives like the round sound. What's important about this rosin is its high tolerance to temperature and humidity changes. And for that, I guess you are paying a little bit more, a little bit extra. So the qualities of this rosin are really, really good. Let's have a look. See this slightly darker amber color. So Larica have got Larica Gold. They are Gold 1, Gold 2, Gold 3. Gold 1 is marketed as the one for violin. Gold 2 is marketed for violin/viola. And I decided to go for that one. And of course 3 is for viola and cello, I think. So I loved using this rosin. All the things that the manufacturer told us, that it's good for the temperature and humidity changes. Fantastic, brilliant. My reservation is about the packaging, and it's very superficial. I don't like the orange cloth, and I think that the box is extremely bulky. It's so huge, it occupies a big space in my violin case. So what I do is actually I use this rosin at home and it works absolutely fine. If I was to influence the brand, I would say please reconsider the packaging. It doesn't do anything for me, although the rosin is fantastic. And a little bit more expensive still is Cecilia. Now this used to be called Andrea and they rebranded in 2020, I believe. A lot of people rave about Cecilia rosin. I love the concept, I love the packaging, I love this transparent case, and I love the big round cake, dark rosin. I've got A Piacere here, and I know they do one more that's more soloistic rosin. Now this rosin, use sparingly. Don't let anyone else borrow it. Joking, of course you can. People will be asking, what's your rosin? Love it. It lived in my case for the last year, I believe, because the packaging is so easy to open, just done. I like the surface, it's so big, and I like the darkness, I like the grip, I love the tone that it gives. This is the headliner. This is the most practical and beautiful rosin, and also the most expensive one. The original size is probably 40 to 42 pounds. You can get a mini version, but like I was saying about the Larsen rosin, I really do not like a small cake. I would definitely go for the original size, which is a little bit more expensive than any other rosin I talked about. Oh, one thing about Thorvaldsson, fun fact, Thorvaldsson are actually behind the rosin I showed you earlier, the Jade L'Opera. It was such a great success for them because it's such a light, really soft rosin, no residue, hypoallergenic, and they started doing all other different rosins. So Paris is only one of them. There is one called Sartori, which I like to think is that you can only use if you're playing on a Sartori bow, which I don't. I definitely know people who do, but Oh, I tried Sartori bow once. It was like a magic wand. It was not a bow, it was magic. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent. So they have Thorvaldsson, they do have all the different shapes of Rosins as well. So I think the Sartori one is not a round cake. And they do one that is kind of shaped like a violin, which is not my thing at all. I prefer this one. But just look into them, they are the usual ones, the sort of the more usual shapes are priced less, let's say that. They are priced at about 18 to 20 pounds. This one I think was 25, 23, 25, something like that. So it's sort of still more expensive than some. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was useful to hear all about Rosins, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next videos. Bye!